But just know that listeners can treat you like that, but also people that are trying to hire you can treat you like that. And there's a website, there's a lot of websites for industry job postings. But this one in particular had one. It said co-host needed for well-funded Las Vegas-based podcast. And I was like, well, that seems like interesting.
Yeah, all right.
20-year radio veteran needs a talented co-host to interview some of the biggest names in entertainment, sports, and news.
If this guy's a 20-year veteran, why does he need a co-host to interview people? Wouldn't he just do it?
Yeah, I mean, most podcasts.
Like already, I'm a little confused.
Right. It said this would be called the Mile High Podcast. And most of the episodes will be 30K feet in the air on a private plane.
That sounds like a waste because when you're, doing a podcast, nobody knows where you are. You could be in a closet and pretend like you're on a private airplane. Why would you go through all that expense?
Right. It says, think Joe Rogan meets Howard Stern. This podcast.
Yeah, because they're both in like private planes when they do their shows.
Right.
Got it.
It said this podcast will be well funded by investors and will be pushed all over social media. Please send us your short demo. We need personality, somebody who is capable of talking about anything.
Ugh.
It gives an email address, and it said we would prefer somebody located in the Las Vegas area or LA because it's very important when podcasting that everyone be in the same room, as you know.
So important.
From listening to Mood Killers. This will eventually be a full-time paid position. So, and that's where I stopped because he did mention previously that you'd be flying around in a private jet, but somehow can't pay a person to do this position.
Yeah, why don't you get rid of the private jet, hire your co-host, build up your show, and then get a private jet? Well, how come the private jet's more important than the surviving wage of your co-host?
And some of the comments on this, one, Helen Tavaputs wrote, why would a well-funded podcast not be offering a full-time position?
Right.
Who's the host? Why is that a secret? Why does this person think they're Howard Stern meets Joe Rogan? Gross. Those are both examples of millionaires who would never ask their staff to take a part-time wage position on a well-funded podcast.
Right. Yeah, well-funded, but we're not going to be able to pay you for.
Helen also says, I love this woman. If you're on a private jet, you can afford to pay someone full-time.
Right.
Stop being ridiculous. Nobody will care if you're on a jet. See, you said the same thing, Eddie.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I listened to a little bit of what they're putting together with this show. It's kind of weird.
It's a well-funded podcast with Donnie the Douche and some poor guy.
Hey, it's Donnie the Douche. We're high above the sky now in my private jet. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Well, we're straightening out here. This is great. We're flying high above the city. I'm looking down. It's, this well-funded podcast backed by investors. I'm a mile high. But let's go now to my underpaid co-host sitting in his studio apartment with his meal of beans over an open flame. Are you there, Ronald? Oh, there seems to be some turbulence in the. Oh dear Lord, what's happening? Oh my gosh! Are you okay, miss? Why are you on my private jet? This is a well-funded podcast. Very important that I do it on a plane. Do you want to be my co-host? I can't seem to contact Ronald. It's a well-funded podcast. We're flying high above the sky. Oh no! Oh no! Looks like oh dear God!
It's a well-funded podcast with Donnie the Douche and some poor guy.
You have to send that to the job posting.
I think we probably got the job.